If Zeke Elliott was a Philadelphia Eagle, he would have been signed, sealed, and delivered months ago. No way the Eagles let their star young players come into this season without a contract. But I guess that's the difference between contenders and pretenders. Then we got the New York Giants, the New York stinking Giants. The Giants always stink. Their season's already done. They've been brainwashing themselves for months that Daniel Jones was a good pick. Now they realize their season's already in peril. They're losing guys left and right. And all I gotta say to the Giants are, thank you for taking our trash. Still stinks. Yo, everybody doing? King Digba here, and so we got some Eagles breaking news things happening right now. I just went ahead, just did this whole video, and as soon as I was done, of course, there's breaking news. The Eagles signed cornerback Orlando Scandrick to a one-year deal. Now, I waited for a while, waited to see who the Eagles would release because they're going to have to release somebody by signing him. They did. Defensive tackle Anthony Rush. He is gone. The Eagles bring in Orlando Scandrick, 32 years old, 11 years in the league, played with Dallas, as you know, was with the Chiefs last year. And this is simply, in my opinion, a depth move. With guys like LeBlanc, Mills, Darby hurt, you had to bring him in, and that's what the Eagles did. They're bringing him in for depth, provide veteran leadership. He's had a lot more snaps than a lot of these other guys, and hopefully he can help some of the young players. We'll get a little more into Scandrick and what it means to him coming into the Eagles and what I think of it overall a little later in this video. But yeah, this came out as soon as I finished this video, so I had to put it out there. Now, when we look at the NFC East and we look at the other teams, there's chaos ensuing. These teams are already dealing with off-the-field troubles, and they're just a couple days into camp. You got the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas stinking Cowboys. They don't have Zeke Elliott in camp because they didn't sign him. They haven't signed Zeke Elliott. To me, this is insane. This is insane that Zeke Elliott is having to come to the point where he has to hold out. Dallas fans want to tell you every day, Zeke Elliott, best running back in football. Well, you got to pay the best running back in football. Why isn't he paid? And here's the situation I think that maybe you could appreciate as Eagle fans, other team fans, but Dallas has got a tough situation. Because if you think about it, you have Dak Prescott, who's at camp, who wants a new contract. He's a quarterback. He thinks he deserves big money, which I know. Then you have Zeke Elliott, who isn't at camp and definitely deserves big money, and he should be holding out, by the way. Now, what are the Cowboys going to do? If you sign Zeke Elliott, you basically just told Dak Prescott that you reporting to camp, you being the quarterback, it's not as important as Zeke Elliott, which I would actually agree with. But if you don't sign Zeke Elliott and you give the money to Dak Prescott, well, then you're just spitting in the face of your best player. And no Zeke Elliott for the Cowboys, their season's over. Now, I know Cowboys are going to say, well, we're going to sign both of them eventually, and they might. But the point is this. Which player is going to feel slighted? Which player is going to feel not as important because you signed the other guy first? You see, the Cowboys should never have let this happen. They should have took care of one of the two guys earlier in the spring when, like, the Eagles signed Carson Wentz. They should have been smart about it. They're stupid. And that's what I love. They're scumbadish, as my dad would say. And I love it. Cowboys, keep doing your thing because you're distracted with all these things going on in your camp. Eagles are just getting better every day. Then you have the New York Giants. The New York Giants, well, look, their fans, they try so hard to brainwash themselves. Daniel Jones is going to be good. I feel it. Every day, my man, shout out to Bad Dog, he does a video. Daniel Jones is going to be better than Dak Prescott. Daniel Jones is going to be better than Sam Darnold. Daniel Jones is going to be better than Jameis Winston. Like, every day, it's Daniel Jones is going to be better than somebody. He stinks! That's what I think about Daniel Jones. But when you look at their wide receiver situation, they're decimated. They're decimated with injury, okay? They're decimated. Now, Golden Tate gets suspended for 4 games. And all I gotta say is thank you. Thank you, Giants, for taking him off our hands. I'm glad. We don't need that kind of crap. We don't need those kind of problems. But the Giants season's already going down the toilet. And like I said, Giants will win 4 or 5 wins. And if somebody don't like it, the Giant fans don't like it, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Well, I'm standing here, what are you gonna do about it? The Giants stink. And they're gonna stink again this year. Maybe in a few years if Daniel Jones shows us something, we'll see. But the Giants season's already going down the toilet. Down the toilet. And I love it. Wait, rerun. Oh, this is going to be a fun season. This is going to be a fun season. Oh, my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited about football. Now, isn't it funny that while all these other teams in our division, they're dealing with injuries, suspensions, guys worrying about themselves and getting paid, the Eagles are back at practice, getting better. We have guys like Jason Peters, future Hall of Famers, who is teaching and giving everything he can, every bit of knowledge to guys who are going to replace him like Andre Dillard. He is teaching him everything, taking him under his wings. And he ain't thinking about, oh, this is my future replacement. No, he's thinking about, I want to give this kid something so he could come in and fill in for me when I'm gone. That's the difference between the Eagles and these other teams. Malcolm Jenkins wants a new contract, but he wants to win too. He's there working. He's not happy about what he's getting paid, and he's there. He's there at camp working. What are these other teams doing? They're holding out. Suspensions, injuries. The Eagles, they're off to a perfect start, okay, from all this chaos and stuff. You know, the Redskins, I'll say, have been pretty quiet too, so that's a good thing for them. But Giants and Cowboys, distraction after distraction after distraction, that's the truth. Now, today was day 3 of practice for the Philadelphia Eagles, and today they put the pads on, and by all accounts, everything I heard, Carson Wentz did not have a good day. He struggled, overthrew a lot of guys. He overthrew Deshaun Jackson a couple times, and it was a tough day. But you know what? You know what he did? You know what they did? After practice was over, after everybody left, Carson Wentz, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, Nelson Aguilar, and whoever else was out there working with him, out there practicing, out there working on their timing, out there working on their route running, out there working on things to get better. And you know what people say? It's not how you handle the good days, but it's how you approach the bad days that make a winner. And that's what the Eagles did. They made, Carson made a bad day at camp, which is going to happen. He turned it into a good day by working extra, by working with those guys. And that chemistry, that comes to play big time during the regular season. But Carson Wentz, he struggled today. He definitely had, not his best day. Now, one of the things that really stood out to me on the offensive side of the ball was I was reading about how the Eagles are really pushing Josh Adams to be in the passing game. They really want him to succeed at the passing game. He's a 6'2", 225-pound running back. And if he could develop, a receiving game, if he could catch out of the backfield and become that kind of running back, his chances of making this team increase dramatically. And they are really pushing Josh Adams to basically be a threat out of the backfield, and they were doing it all day. They had him running out there all day with Nate Sudfeld. He took most of his reps with, and this is a good thing. I like this. I like the idea that you want him to add something to his game, and if Josh Adams can become a receiver out of the backfield, then I think he'll make this team. So one guy I wanted to talk about yesterday, but I decided to wait until today, which I'm glad I did, because a lot more came out on him, is Josh Sweat. Now, by all accounts, Josh Sweat looks to be a lot stronger, a lot bigger. He put on 20 pounds this all season, and every bit as fast and explosive as last year. And he is getting rave reviews from Doug Peterson, Jim Schwartz, Lane Johnson. Chris Long has even tweeted about him. And this kid is hungry for snaps. He's hungry for playing time. And I expect big things for him. And he's the reason why I didn't want to bring in Connor Barwin. This is why I was like, no, wait to bring in Connor Barwin. Don't bring him in, because I wanted to see who came in early in the camp and really took that lead as the 4th defensive end. And by all accounts, by everything I'm hearing, Josh Sweat looks to be that guy. Lane Johnson's been, like I said, he's been raving about him. And I think Josh Sweat is going to be very explosive and a very big key player for us, because if he could be that 4th defensive end, the Eagles are in really, really good shape. I'm super excited about him. I would say that Josh Sweat, Jordan Mailata, Avonte Maddox are probably my top 3 guys who are basically going in their second year that I really wanted to see how they progress this year. I think Avonte Maddox is a star, no doubt about it. I think Jordan Mailata has all the talent in the world, and so does Josh Sweat. And I think Josh Sweat just needs an opportunity to play. So I'm very excited to see him this preseason. But everything that we're hearing is that this kid is making a real impact early for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, the worst thing to happen to the Eagles so far in training camp has been the injury to Cre'veon Leblanc. Now, Ian Rappaport reported earlier that LeBlanc sprained his foot. He's going to be out several weeks, okay? Several weeks. But the good news is he should be back by week 1. So he should be back for the regular season. And with him hurt, Jalen Mills, Ronald Darby, as we talked about earlier in this video, that's why the Eagles signed Orlando Scandrick. They need camp bodies. They're bringing him in, and he does provide veteran leadership. Now, my opinion on the Orlando Scandrick signing is kind of like back and forth. Because on one hand, I understand it. You need veteran leadership. You need a guy who's taking snaps to come in. Maybe he helps the young guys. You know what I mean? I get all that. But on the other hand, I don't know that I want Scandrick long-term on the team when we have so many young guys that I really like. I want to see play. Josh Hawkins, guys like that. I want to see these young guys develop. And if he's going to take a position from somebody, I'm not going to like that. But we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how everything plays out. And when Mills comes back and when Darby comes back, we'll see and we'll know, then. But as far as I'm concerned, I like the young guys on this team. Avonte Maddox. Today in practice, by the way, Avonte Maddox was in the slot. Sidney Jones was on the outside, and Sidney Jones apparently did really, really well. He had a pick on Nate Sudfeld, which was a bad throw, but he played good on the outside, and that's a good sign. We want these guys to be able to go and play all around. And, of course, I like Rasul Douglas. So we're just going to have to see. We're going to have to see. But for right now, for what the Eagles need, I think bringing Orlando Scandrick is fine. You bring him in for 1 year. He provides you some veteran leadership. He can take some snaps, and we'll see what he has left. Like I said, he's 32 years old, 11 years in the league. I don't expect big things from him, but if he's a backup, if he's there for depth, then I have no problem with it. So, I don't know. That's my opinion, and hopefully LeBlanc will be back quick, be back soon, and we'll be at full strength. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you're feeling about this Scandrick signing and about the Eagles so far overall. With that said, take care, talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.